conversations I've had with Brian LieFE, he would eventually start to understand how wrong he is about certain things. But it seems as though with him, it is the total opposite. From claiming the 24-hour sunlight in Antarctica doesn't exist.
The guy who did the 24-hour Antarctic sun, the ones you see on the internet, it's all that shit's coming from one dude, and we done fucking debunked his shit pretty thoroughly, man.
To claim.
Yeah, you're referring to the guy Powell. We debunked his shit, B-Ball. Then he tried to change it and say he clipped it, edited it wrong. And we debunked his next one. There was 2 more cuts in it. Okay, I pointed it out clear as day. Even if you don't like some of the other things I pointed out, there were still 2 cuts in it, in his uncut video. Okay, so you're just projecting on me, bro. You're puking just nonsense, bro. I'm going to break this down into a few different videos, or it's just going to be a long, boring video of B-Ball lying through his teeth over and over.
Claiming that all Southern Hemisphere flights actually fly north above the equator first, then back south to their destination?
It doesn't pay to be stupid and dishonest. You see how he just casually throws it in that all, like I said, all flights, all the Southern Hemisphere flights go north over the equator. Just about all of them, B-Ball. There's a couple non-stops, and we've discussed them. I never once claimed all of them. I want to know why any of them do.
To claiming long-distance observations prove flat Earth?
As he's showing one of his pictures, no, you claim that long-distance observations prove a globe. We claim that long-distance photos prove a flat Earth, or evidence. Okay? So show some evidence of all this shit you're claiming. Globers demonstrations, they're just helping prove a flat Earth.
To misunderstanding the solar analemma?
What's there to misunderstand, B-Ball? It's twice as wide in the south. The loop is twice as wide, or even more. And it's explained in your model by the elliptical orbit. But the elliptical orbit is only 3% different in distance, from 90 to 93 million miles or so. Why would the loop be twice as wide, B-Ball? You've never explained that.
To not being able to properly draw triangles on spheres?
Here's what I'm drawing a triangle from my orientation, B-Ball. I know how to draw a spherical triangle, but that wasn't the point of the video. Line of sight is always going to give you 180 degrees. Okay, that was a you're straw man. I mean, acting like I don't know how to draw a spherical triangle. What happens if we do 3 60-degree turns on a globe? I covered the entire tropics. 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Okay? Put the protractor to it. Really? Is that the angles? Is that what you measured with your protractor, B-Ball? Well, I still have that globe. So let's put a protractor on it and see. You're just throwing numbers out there. Just typical of your horse shit, bro. I don't know, B-Ball. Looks a lot like 60 degrees, man. Not 79. I don't know. What do you think? 30 and 30 equals 60, right? What do you think, buddy? So you think you could just throw numbers up there? And look, I drew a spherical triangle around it in red, just to show you that, yeah, I know how to draw a spherical triangle, B-Ball. So spare the dramatics, buddy. Okay?
To thinking that Puerto Rico is just a few miles off the coast of South Carolina?
And you asked Jose if he was in the tropics, because Puerto Rico seems like a tropical climate, but I think it's off the coast of South Carolina. So it's... Wow, really, dude? So I mistook Bermuda for Puerto Rico. I said I think it's off the coast of Carolina. It turns out it's Bermuda. So laugh me out the building for that. That's your big gotcha. I mean, that's what I just seen on the map. Puerto Rico is like about a few hundred miles off the coast of South Carolina, right?
Nah. I would have used Florida or something.
B-Ball's big gotcha. It's Bermuda off the coast of the Carolinas, not Puerto Rico. And I even said I think. I wasn't sure. Dude, he brought this back up. I mean, I admitted this the same damn night and realized it was Bermuda. But this is years ago, bro. He added that in so he could throw a whole nother category of horseshit in.
There's no shortage of claims that Brian will make and be completely wrong about, be corrected, sometimes even acknowledge that he may be wrong, and then come back the next day and make the same claim again.
More theatrics with no evidence.
In one of Brian's recent Nobel Prize worthy offerings, he demonstrates just how little he knows about refraction.
Okay, let's see. Let's hear him out and see who knows little about refraction.
First, he presents a few clips showing sugar water and fish tank demonstrations. These are always good because they show how a dramatic change in density will have a significant effect on the amount of refraction you see.
So a dramatic change in density will have a significant impact on what we see. Is that what they set out to prove here, B-Ball? Is that what you think? These are baller demonstrations, all these sugar waters and fish tanks. No, that's wrong. So clearly, maybe, yeah, you think I'm out trying to win an award, okay? But you don't even understand what you're even talking about. All these things you're talking about are horse shit, bro. Some of it is intentional, but this, I'll chalk this down as ignorance. Okay, these demonstrations are to try to debunk long distance lasers, to show that if the light is bending downward toward the denser gradient, then we see things higher. Okay, but that's not what happens. Okay, what happens is the bottom of the building gets compressed and appears to disappear. Okay, it appears obstructed. Okay, so we're missing whatever's causing it. We know that it's the density gradient, but whether it's compression or obstruction, okay, we know that we're not seeing the bottom of this city. Okay, so it backfired on them, and I'm just paying attention to detail, pointing it out. If you'd have checked it out and seen what their claims were, you would have left this out. But if you'd have did that with all your claims, you wouldn't have had much of a video, would you?
The problem is, Brian believes that some of the bottom of the buildings are obstructed when they're actually just compressed, which is pretty obvious due to the amount of refraction created by the density gradient in the water, which is exactly what
That's hilarious because I'm about to say, when he plays me talking, I literally say they're compressed. So he's dishonest, man.
we would expect to see. I'm not sure how many times we have to repeat that light bends towards a denser medium. This is
Right. See, he's leaving shit out. This is where I think it's intentional. He don't know how many times he has to tell me that light bends toward the denser medium. No shit, Sherlock. I even say that. I'll give you lights bending toward the denser medium, but we don't see things higher. Okay? Look at the bottom with the sugar water. Do you see the city skyline higher, B-Ball? Because that's the claim. For fuck's sake, man.
pretty evident the moment you Google which way does light
You heard him
bend.
plain as day. We should see more of the city skyline because he's used sugar water to induce a gradient that they claim matches our atmosphere with the light bending downward toward the denser medium. But when they do that, just the opposite happens. Look at the city skyline. Look at the bottom. We see less of the city. So with line of sight over a flat surface, we see less of the city even if light's behaving the way they claim. And that's causing the bottom of the city to disappear. Whatever it is, compression or it's still missing. So scale yourself down, B-Ball. Grab your instrument. Go to the fish tank at the bottom picture with the sugar water. Okay? The light is obviously bending downward. But we're not seeing things higher, are we, B-Ball? Okay? We might see a light higher, but scale yourself down. Set your instrument up with line of sight on the bottom. Where do your crosshairs going to line up with? They're going to line up halfway up the building. Whatever's causing it, compression or whatever. The claim is we see things higher due to light refracting downward. But that's not being demonstrated, is it, B-Ball? So maybe you need to go learn about refraction. Quit being so arrogant.